Greetings, starseeds and lightworkers. This is Ava here, and today we're going to be calling in Pleiadian DiYeena of the Pleiadian family to talk about guides and ancestors, and I want to just hear her just basic understanding of that and like what is going on with the relationship there. How can they help? What can't they help with? What is the agreement or the contract that we have with our guides? And so we're just going to dive right in and see what information she can give us. I know that she has more to share than this question really holds. So I'm leaving it a little bit open-ended. So let's just see what information she has. I can feel that there's some really juicy pieces here. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings! This is DiYeena of the Pleiadian family, and we come to bring the love, and we love to tell you that because we just love you to know how much we are really here with you. We are really here with you, bringing love. And so what you are wanting to know about today is your guides, your ancestors, your helper spirits, your angels, your star family, you see. So first of all, all of you have them, you see. There is no question about it, but many of you have very many supporting. And so why? Because a lot of you that especially those that are tuning into DiYeena and things like this, there is part of your soul at least that is from other star systems, and so you are resonating with this information because you are from there. You are whether you are Pleiadian or from some other place. Most likely it is a mixture of both, you see. But this is off topic a little bit, you see. What we're talking about is your guides. First of all, how do we find out about them? How do we bring them in? What was all this about? So really, it is very simple. It is simply your desire to want this, you see, to want this relationship. And so what you do then is you simply ask from the heart. It is not a mind thing. It is not in the mind wondering if this is real. It is simply like... if you have a loved one, for example, that you believe is in heaven or on the other side, whatever construct you have for that or in your mind, if you feel like, I just feel their presence, you see. It is just like that. It is just like that, you see. And so we can do this with any being. Even if we do not know their name, we do not know their origin, things like this, you see, we can call upon them and we can ask them to bring in the information, you see, to tell us, you see. And so we begin by simply asking. And you simply do this in your meditation and you begin to get good at the listening, you see. And so for some of you are like, well, that is easy for you to say, DiYeena, because you're so psychic, you see. But what about me? You know, how do I do this? And I say to you, you are very psychic too. So what do you think about that? We play a little bit like this, you see. Because a lot of you forget your own power. You see, you forget your own power and you forget why you come, and you forget that you have support, and you forget that you actually lined it up. You lined up all your people before you came. You see, this is in the contract that you are going to be there to support me at this particular time because I'm going to need the extra help, you see. So this is all, you would say, predestined in a certain way, but it is all lined up for you. And you have the free will, you know, so there's always that piece too. So it is not like fate. We're not talking about fatalism here or anything like that. It is the moving of consciousness at all moments, and there's always free will in every breath, you see. But in general, we come in with a specific intent and purpose, and we set up a support system to complete that purpose. So for those of you that maybe know your purpose or don't know your purpose, either way, you can call upon your guides, you see. So you simply begin to get quiet. You practice meditating. Some of you are already good at emptying the mind and listening, and others of you, that sounds awful. You do not want to do it at all because you feel like you are horrible at it and you just want to turn this off right now. We really understand. So it is also about knowing yourself and knowing what are your strengths, you see. Some of you, you don't have to meditate at all. You just can visualize, you see. Some of you are very good in the dream world. You can just go to sleep and say, can you just give me a dream about this? So that feels like the easiest way for me, is to just have a dream about it. And in the dream, I would like to meet you. And I would like you to do it in a way that is not going to scare me. Some of you, this is a bit of a thing. We don't want to scare you, you see. So do it in a way that feels so loving and soft and kind, you see. And do it in a way that I can hear and see you and remember, you see. And you can begin to work in that way and relate in that way. Some of you can do in a free form writing, you see, and begin to write. And sometimes if you allow yourself, because we are all channels, like Ava here, we can all channel. Some artists do it, and sports people do it, and everyone has what you call indie zone, you see. So for you just find what is your zone. And so if you like to write, or even if you don't, you can do this in writing, you can do this in your art. You can find a way where you simply allow that open communication, you see, where you say, would you please just come in and give me the information? So sometimes it will just come to you as a thought. Trust the thoughts. If you have asked and you have intended the question, you trust what is coming through. So if you have a thought, you think about it. If you have a vision, you see something. If you hear something, if you sense something or smell something, trust all of these things. These are all them trying to communicate with you in a way that you are open to receiving. So they're always going to work on your strongest points. They're always going to work with your strongest senses. So keep that in mind and really know, like, do you work through the taste and the smell? Do you work through the feeling, the touch, you see? Do you work through the visualization and the light, you see? So, because if you are, then you can just ask this, let me see you see. On others of you, it is more like a voiceless voice, you see, in the mind, you see, and trusting that as well. And you can also do the free writing and just allow them to communicate like that. And they can begin, you can say, tell me your name, and just let them write for you. You see, things like that, you see, and just really let yourself play with it a little bit and trust that process a little bit. You can also do this with the mirrors. You just look into your eyes in the mirror, because they can communicate through your eyes, you see. And so you can begin to communicate like that as well, you see. And so there's many ways, you see, to do this. And with the eyes, you have to be careful, because if, and not that we want to scare anybody here, but if there are any energetic attachments, it can be a little bit of a, there can get mixed messages. So if you're not sure if you're clear from energy attachments, we would suggest sticking with one of the other versions of just listening, or doing in your dreams, you see. And finding someone to help, you see, clear, you see. And you can have anyone who is familiar with this, just test it out and see, are you clear, you see. Because sometimes, especially if we have phases in our life where we maybe go through periods of maybe not taking such good care of the bodies, or going through depressions, or different things, we can get holes in the aura where other energies can come in. And it is an agreed upon thing. So this is what we want to say, is that all energy attachments, there is an agreement. So it is important for you to not just get scared about that, but to know that it is a process of understanding the agreement, and then saying, okay, it is done, the contract is complete, and we'll release you back to the love, you see. It is very simple. You just find someone who knows how to do this thing. It is good for everyone to just get checked every now and again for this. Make sure you are clear, because sometimes in our world it is easy for those things. And then if you're clear, you stay clear by doing the things that we have talked about before in the other videos of cleansing auras and things like this, you see. So work with these techniques that are very simple and easy to implement. And so what we want to say about the guides, your guides are here to support you, and they're here to communicate with you. And so you begin to develop that relationship. Some of you are already in that relationship. So if you're already in the relationship, then what is the role? And what can they, why are they not giving you all the information? When you ask, sometimes you want to know all the things, you see. You want to know exactly what is happening and why. And you want to know the answers, you see, and what to do. Even with DiYeena here, sometimes we, even in the private one-on-one sessions, we don't tell people what to do ever. We do not say, do this, you see. Why? Because that is violating the laws of free will, you see. You have the choice. You have the ultimate choice. So what can we do? As the guides, we can guide and we can love and support. And some of us are here to give more practical, like DiYeena gives a lot of the practical options, you see. If you go this way, this is what this road looks like. There is a left turn over here, and there's a big tree with a little bit of a owl that likes to scatter in the dark a little bit, and then there's another little place over there where there is a little bit of a creek you have to watch out for. And then if you go the other way, there is some flowers on the path, and it looks like this, you see. And so we can kind of guide in that way and say, this is what the paths look like, but it is ultimately up to you, you see. So you'll if you have a guide that you feel is telling you what to do, it's really something to really reconsider where the information is coming from. And so to really clarify and make sure that the information you are receiving is from the love and light, you can simply ask it directly. Are you here with the intention of love and light? And when you ask directly, this is a law of the universe that they have to respond. They have to respond to that. So if they are not, they have to tell you that, you see. And so you have to really be aware of these pieces, you see, to really, really check in and make sure that it is coming from that. And you will know by your heart, you will know how it feels, you see. And so just developing that relationship, ideally it is simply feeling like an expansion of yourself. It is simply feeling like an elevation, and it feels good in the body, you see. But this is why, this is the answer. You cannot interject in the free will experience, you see. So in that way, it is important for you to simply begin to develop that relationship. It is really your higher self. You're developing that relationship with your higher self, because ultimately you have all of the information, you have all of the Akash within, and so you have all of the access to all possibility and all directionality, you see. And when you really feel into that, it is a deep knowing that we all carry. Every one of us carries this deep knowing within, of what to do, where to go, what to choose in every moment. Isn't that amazing? What gets in the way is simply what we project that means. When we know, but then we put on, well, if this is the right action, for example, then that must mean that this is going to happen and that is going to happen, and this person is going to get upset, and this person might leave me, or this person. So we put on all these projections of what the right action that we know is true for ourselves, what it means in our external world, you see. This is what happens a lot of times, you see. And so that is the piece that gets us all confused as to whether to do the action we know is true in our heart or not, you see. And this is where, when we communicate with our guides and our higher self on a more regular basis, we become less wavered by others and the situation external. You see, we are able to simply move with love in the right direction that is right for our souls, you see, and the soul growth and the consciousness expansion. So this is a little bit of a flavor for it. And if you have, again, a little piece of this that sparked a question, simply ask it in the comments, and we can begin a discussion in this way, you see. And we can bring in, maybe even call it the part 2, you see, and have it expand like that. It is fun in that way. And we can always, there's always room for more, you see. So like this, we like to say, we are here to bring the love. I feel like there is something more we want to say here. I feel like this is so incomplete, you see, because I have people knocking at the door here in the world upstairs, you see, that they're saying, why don't you tell them about this and that and that and this, you see. But just to say that you have so many beings here assisting you at all times, whether you know their names or not. And so rather than saying, well, I do not know the name of my guide, maybe just feel our presence and our love, and see if you can just start there. Because that is really what is important, is that you're feeling like you're not doing all the world alone, you see. And sometimes that is all we need to know to do what we know to do. Yes, that was what we needed to say. So that is where we will end it for you today. We love you all, dear souls. Thank you so much for being present here, and continue to keep doing the good work as your starred seeds, and begin to bring your friends here, because we are building community around the entire planet. That is the goal here, is to create community of star seeds and light workers, and to get you all connected with each other, so that you know, where does everyone live, who has communities on different parts of the globe, you see, and who is interested in living in a conscious community of star seeds and light workers, you see. Isn't that fascinating, you see? So this is where we are going with all of this, and to grow into an expansion of how to really serve the world and the humans on it in a way that is really, we're using this platform as a way to communicate with each other and to really grow in this way. So bring your star seed friends here, and allow them to really begin to make these connections, so that we can really know, where is all the good work happening on the planet? We want you to share about this. We want you to communicate with each other. And as more of you come and congregate, we'll create even more ways for that to happen, for you all to communicate. Isn't that beautiful? See, this is way. See, we just start with Ava saying, Ava, knock, knock. We need you to start the YouTube. Knock, knock. Please start the YouTube channel, Ava. It is time. Do it on the 7-7 portal. Knock, knock. And so she does the YouTube. She says, go on the YouTube. And she just starts the thing. And she says, I don't want to do it, but here DiYeena says, so we are here, you see. And now we say, knock, knock, Ava. We have light workers all over the planet who need to know where each other are so we can do the work. You see, this is how we really get the work done. We just do step by step by step. You see, if we told Ava all of it at once, you know, she might not even do it. We might not even be here, you see. We are kidding. We hope that she would have remembered that this is why she said yes to this one. So we would like to say, this is really just the tip of the iceberg in the intent of not only this channel, but this community, you see. And so we are really here. We are grateful for you, those of you who have been here since the very beginning, you see. This is very beautiful, and we love you so very dearly. So blessings, blessings, blessings. Now we feel this transmission is more complete. So very good. We love you all very dearly. Blessings. Blessings, everyone. I trust that this message was exactly what you needed to hear today. And if you liked it, please subscribe, share, and share it with your friends. Give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions for DiYeena, you can always head over to DiYeena.com and submit a little form there and get your question answered on an upcoming episode. We can't wait to see you next time. Blessings.